Hello, my name is Anthony Sullers Jr., and I'll be giving this presentation on a step towards evaluating the University of Illinois System's President's Award Program. Before I begin, I would like to take the time to say that I am open and welcoming all suggestions, critiques, comments, questions, as I'll be using this information in this evaluation to conduct my dissertation research. So any type of feedback is welcome, it's helpful. And I do hope you have some questions towards the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I'd like to begin by talking about the context of the University of Illinois system. University of Illinois serves as the state's flagship public university system. It has 3 campuses: the Urbana-Champaign campus, the Chicago campus, as well as the Springfield campus. These campuses provide education to over 80,000 students and offers over 1,000 opportunities for students to seek their education on an off-campus setting or online setting. The university is also known for its 700 public service and outreach programs, which speaks towards the service component of the entire system. In terms of the history and structure of the President's Award Program, which I'll refer to as PAP through the remainder of this presentation, it was implemented in 1985 under the presidency of Dr. Stanley Eikenberry. During that time, affirmative action policy was one of the highly debated and discussed issues at the national level, but also particularly in higher education. And as a means to answer this or speak to this situation, Dr. Eikenberry wanted to increase diversity on the University of Illinois campuses by creating this program, offering access and financial support to several high academic achieving underrepresented students of color at the time. In terms of eligibility for PAP, students must be a full-time, first-time degree-seeking freshman that graduated from a Illinois high school. They must receive an ACT score of 25 or higher, or an SAT score of 1220 or higher. However, PAP has been considerate in providing awards to a limited number of students who didn't score too well on the ACT and instead based their decision off of that student's overall academic record in high school. The groups that are eligible for PAP are those that come from underrepresented racial ethnic groups, including African American, Latino, or Native American. Students that come from underrepresented Illinois counties, so rural counties that don't particularly host a large number of students at the University of Illinois. And then the last one, high-achieving dependent students whose families are not quite capable of contributing to the cost of education for students. So students who come from low-income families or families who are at or below the poverty line, they are also considered for this award. Now, getting to the evaluation, the purpose of this evaluation are to, 1, determine the degree in which PAP is actually meeting its goals of increasing diversity, and 2, the extent the program PAP impacts the recipient's retention and degree attainment success. For this project, there are several groups of stakeholders, but I placed them into 4 particular groups. The first primary stakeholder of interest is the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs, which is responsible for all academic affairs at all 3 campuses. It is because of them I'm able to get some data to actually speak towards this research, towards my evaluation, and in return of them providing me secondary data for my analysis, they ask that whatever it is that I produce, whether it's just a dissertation or a evaluation write-up report, whatever it is, they ask that they receive it so that they could use it for their purposes. But I also felt like the results from this evaluation can be helpful to several other groups, including administrators, faculty, and staff, those that work with students, current PAP students, and then most importantly, prospective high school students, parents, and their counselors, just to give them a sense of what are the ins and outs of the program prior to actually accepting it. So the way that I wanted to address This evaluation is by asking a list of questions, but I have them broken up into specific groups. For the sake of time, I won't read off each question, but I'll try to break down each setup. So first things first, the first two questions are gauged to get a sense of the historical and cultural context of the program since its inception. What policies have changed? What rules? What things have changed since its inception back in 1985 to now? And then what are some of the key differences between between campuses? How do they host the program? Are there similarities? Are there differences? The next three questions, question 3 through 5, are used to get a quantitative basis of information, trying to see what factors students had that actually had a significant impact on the degree attainment and retention of these students. I also would like to see if there are any statistically significant differences in the degree attainment rates based on factors such as gender, race, high school type, and county, just to name a few. And then the last two questions are aimed to get a sense of the perceived benefits and limitations of receiving the award from the perspective of alumni. And the way I plan on getting this information is through a mixed methods design. I'll specifically be using a sequential explanatory design, which means that I'll be using qualitative data to support the quantitative secondary data analysis that I'll be conducting. Here is a breakdown of how I plan to gain information, where I can gain the information. Real briefly, I'll just be conducting 3 types of data collection, and that will be one, again, the secondary data analysis from the data provider from the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs. I'll be conducting interviews with several University of Illinois staff, administrators, and then primarily alumni who have received the President's Award Program scholarship, and then conducting document analysis, which I'll be receiving archival data that, from the Archives Research Center located on the Urbana-Champaign campus. In terms of trying to consider what program quality looks like for this program, or the setting criteria, after conversations with several key stakeholders, specifically administrators who serve PAP students. It is established that criteria of success is based solely on recipients' first year retention rates as well as their degree attainment rates. The goal of this evaluation is to see the success in those rates, but also try to determine additional factors that may contribute to that type of success or lack thereof. So, in closing, I do apologize for the rush presentation, but that is my time. Again, I do welcome any questions, comments, inquiries, whatever it is that can help me make sure that I'm conducting this evaluation in a thorough manner. I do appreciate your time. Thank you.